Alright, look at this creepy shadow that comes in. And then a possible apparition that we caught. Now this happened yesterday. Whatever that is, I don't know. Does it look like the curtain right there? It does. But the problem is, that curtain is a white curtain beyond that. There's no black curtain in the back. So let me explain real quick. This is the hallway. We do a haunted house here at the hotel in October. There's some curtains. And then right there, you're going to see the doorway where the apparition was. Now there's the white curtains. There's a curtain right there. It's on a track because we open and close them during the haunted house. And then there's the back side. Now these curtains right here are about to move on their own. And I'm going to show you the footage on that's pretty amazing as well. It's almost like it gets pulled at the bottom and fully across. We had no guests that night on this end of the hall. We did have a guest right here on the room on the right that you see right there. That's room 2. Now this is our debunking video, so they're not in there right now. But they left about 8. I looked on all the cameras all through the events. There was no movement in there. Now let me show you the curtain that moves. This is pretty crazy. Right here, you see it took off right there and goes by itself. Now the reason why we looked at this is because we had the curtains were closed obviously when we came out, but also there were some noises, and the person staying in the room to the left right here told us in the middle of the night that they saw shadows and some other things. And so I was like, okay, let me see why they opened the curtain, who did it, and what's going on. So I panned back to 4:53 a.m. You can see down there at the bottom. And then I see the curtain kind of open by itself. Closed by itself, rather. Right there. Then we started looking at it, and we're like, what's that white feature in the curtain right here? I'm going to show you again. It looks almost like a face right there is manifesting right there. And so I thought, well, that's weird. If someone's behind there moving that curtain, where is that coming from? Because the black curtain shouldn't be reflecting anything. You can see it moving around. So it's just there in the beginning. So we took that still and we enhanced it, and it looks like this. So that's kind of creepy in itself. Doesn't mean it's anything paranormal, but it could mean, if the curtains did move by themselves, that it could be. Now, I wanted to see what's behind the other side of these curtains. That was another flash. I'll tell you about that in a second. Here's what's behind the curtains, and this is pretty remarkable right here. You see them move a little bit, and then they just take off. And that's not sped up or anything. That's actual speed. You can see right there the movement. It looks like someone just grabbed it and tugged on it. Now we had both sides of the camera covered, so you can tell nobody's there. We don't know what is going on here, but the movement is pretty crazy. And you can almost see something manifesting right there by that chair before it moves. Right, look, you'll see right there. Dark spot, and then it takes off. So this is what we woke up to the morning. We saw the curtain close. That's what spawned us, and then the room to the left told me about their experience. So we pulled the full footage. Here it is right here. And I'll just let you watch it. This is 4:59 a.m. Zoom in right here is where the door is. Now keep in mind that door is about 7 foot tall. Zoom out a little bit. You're going to see a couple shadows, and we're going to break this video down. You'll notice it gets a little dark back there. There's something, okay, there's dark right there, and then something that looked solid came out. It comes out again here in a second. Look how dark that shadow is. Something came out, and then now it almost turned. Now, whatever that is, has to be about 7-8 feet tall, because it's almost, touching the ceiling. Now, what's interesting about this, because we did try to debunk this, I'll show you that video. The shadow that comes in right here, right there, engulfs the door. It leaves while that solid whatever stays there and then turns. So the shadow takes off first, and then that turns. And then on this one, the first one, you see the thing first, right there, and then the shadow comes in. So it did exactly opposite. I'm going to let it play by itself again. Here comes the first one. And then the second one, which is much larger. It's almost like it knew something was there and it took off. Now, we were super skeptical. We tried everything to debunk this. I went through all the events, couldn't find anything. Here's what we did to debunk it. First, we grabbed the curtain, the white curtain back there. We tried to create, with the shadow, trying to get the shadow down. Now the lights are on, we noticed that, so we turn them off here in a minute. But there's no black curtain. I thought the white curtain maybe, looked like a black curtain, and maybe it was just the wind. There was no explanation, though, still about the curtain moving on its own. So these are all the events that night. And then I'm about to pull up the one from us doing the curtain. We decided to get a stick and like a sheet to try to debunk. Here it is right here. So we have the stick and the sheet, and we're trying to get up as high as possible. We've already kind of measured. And you can tell as soon as you put it out there, it doesn't look like it. But on top of that, there's no shadow. It doesn't cast a shadow. That's the interesting thing about this is a shadow manifests first. Now this is the correct lighting because this is about the same. But you see there's no shadow, so we weren't able to reproduce it. We tried this several times. That's just a sheet like on this stick thing. Thinking, if someone was playing us for a fool, that's what they would have done. But again, we didn't see anybody in the halls. We did at 2:30 because they went to the kitchen. And then we did later at about 8 when that room I was telling you about checked out. Now, I also went through some other events. By the way, this event happened in 4:59. The curtains moved. Oh, no, sorry. This is another light anomaly that happened at 5:12. What that is, I don't know. At first, I thought it was the infrared light on the camera kicking on, because we don't have the infrared light turning on, but it very well could be because, if something dark got in front of the sensor, it'll kick on that infrared light. So the question is, why did the IR light kick on? And is that the infrared light? Possible. But the curtains moving happened at 4:53, and then the actual apparition happened at 4:59. So about 6 minutes later. And it's pretty remarkable footage. I can't debunk it. Nobody was in the hallway. It's just those shadows. That right there is really... If it was just that black little sliver sticking through, I'd be like, maybe... I would question it a little more. But these shadows that come through are very, very interesting. But the fact that, we have so many cameras and we're able to track the fact that nobody was in the hallway was pretty remarkable. So, anyway, that's what we have to show you. And it's been a while since we caught an apparition. The last one we caught was about 2020 upstairs by room 19. This is downstairs. Now, that apparition was coming out of the area by room 0 on the right. And we have had some activity in room 0. So... check our other pieces of footage that we've captured, and let us know what you think.